fam, Alexxa here with another reaction. So today we're going to continue with our Star Trek TNG series, and this time with season 1, episode 16, titled Too Short a Season. As always, if you're looking for the full-length reaction to this particular episode or any of my other content, you can find that on Patreon, and the link will be in the description below. And if you cannot support us on Patreon, that's completely fine. You can support us directly here on YouTube by liking this video, commenting, subscribing, and joining our membership program. So without any further ado, let's get into our episode. Okay.
We are in orbit around Persephone 5, where I have been sent to confer with Admiral Mark Jameson in regard to an extraordinary situation.
Starfleet received this subspace transmission 2 days ago, Admiral.
Let's see it, Captain.
On board.
I am Carnus, Governor of Morden 4. There's only one negotiator with the skills to resolve this situation. The lives of the hostages will depend on Starfleet delivering this man to Morden. Commander Mark Jameson. Admiral Jameson. 45 years ago, I negotiated a hostage situation on Morden, Captain. Carnus was a young man then, but so was I. He seems to feel that I can handle the situation again.
I'm detailed to take you to Mordan 4 as soon as you can be ready, Admiral.
My wife and I will beam aboard at 1500 hours, Captain. Acknowledge.
Received and acknowledged, sir. Picard out. Welcome aboard, Admiral. This is my executive officer, Commander William Riker.
My pleasure, sir. Ma'am?
My wife, Anne. Captain, there are certain details of this mission that you should understand before we begin.
Yes, sir.
I am not simply an advisor. On any assignment I accompany, Starfleet has designated me senior mission officer.
And I find it fascinating that they aged him with makeup and prosthetic. Ooh, stays. With makeup and prosthetic, but she's an older woman. So I'm wondering if throughout the episode, whether they're going to see him younger or he's going to de-age somehow. Space. The final frontier. Somebody had the nerve to tell me that I had a nice voice. I was like, no, I'm tone deaf. I know my limitations.
Message coming in from Morden, sir.
You will not find me on no American Idol, no X Factor, no none of that.
Report to Enterprise. This is Carnus. I will speak to the captain.
I am Captain Picard, commanding the Enterprise.
I believe them.
Tell them I accept the conditions of negotiation. I will do so immediately.
For a man in his position, he doesn't seem to know much about the situation.
Wrong, number one. He told me that the terrorists are desperate enough to kill if they're crossed.
But I sense the holding back.
Perhaps he knows more about the terrorists than he's prepared to admit.
Possible. But I suspect it's closer to the mark if we said he doesn't want to admit failure of his own efforts to negotiate.
What I don't understand, sir, is how Carnus knew that you were still available.
Still alive, you mean?
So far as he knew, sir, you could have been dead.
Quite right, Commander. But I am not. And I imagine Ambassador Hawkins has told him that.
Are you suggesting the terrorists want arms and weapons?
They may. I am suggesting that Carnus is the last man to give them such weapons.
I see. You believe that Carnus would not negotiate on that point. And so the terrorists demanded an outside negotiator.
I know Carnus. He is a warrior.
You're stronger today.
I'm fine. I feel like a kid again.
This ship is magnificent. It even has family quarters. I'll get sick bay.
No. There's no need. It's happened before.
When? You haven't said anything?
It'll pass. Just give me a moment.
What's wrong with him? Is he becoming younger?
Sure. Don't lie to me.
I'm sure.
And healthier?
The test results he gave me aren't 2 days old, they're 2 months old. The medical records coder always includes the date as part of the file number. He lied to me, sir, and I don't know why.
Doctor.
He's like, take me seriously.
Doctor, I do respect your opinion. And I want you on the bridge for the next day or so. The Admiral must remain in the best of health for these negotiations. And he might require your services.
We're approaching the Dini star cluster. Would you like to take the con as we make transit?
Thank you, Captain.
Yeah, he's doing something to himself if he can now walk.
Well, Admiral, quite a little surprise you've pulled on us.
Yes, quite.
Neglected to mention, I began some new therapy before I left. Seems to be working. I haven't felt this good since the last time I was in space, the Gettysburg. All I needed to get me out of that chair was the thought of walking the decks in command of a starship again.
Yeah, I don't trust him at all.
I have never heard of any therapy that would produce results like that.
And how do you account for it?
I can't. All I can tell you is that the Admiral has been confined to his support chair for the last 4 years by the effects of Iverson's. By all the medical facts we know, he should never have walked again.
I want you to look into it, Doctor. Thoroughly.
Yes, please.
Mark! My God, what's happened?
It's the new therapy I'm taking. It's working, Annie.
Oh, darling! Mark?
I told you I just needed to get back in space again.
He looks younger.
You look like you looked 20 years ago.
You flatter me.
Now you tell me what the hell is going on.
I don't know.
Mark!
I found traces of chemical substances in his blood and tissue samples, but none of them are in our pharmacopoeia. I'm still working on alien references to substances like these. All I can tell you is that he's ingested something that's strongly affecting his body.
Specifics, Doctor.
Captain, there's so many things going on, I can't give you specifics until I do a lot more tests. And Captain, there are absolutely no traces of Iverson's disease.
Who said there was no cure for Iverson's?
None that we know of. Well, whatever these substances are doing to his body, at least they've done that for him. But how or why? It's too early to say.
Get me some answers, Doctor.
As soon as possible.
Ask away. There's nothing to hide now. There's a planet in the Cerberus system. Cerberus 2. They say the natives there have a process that rejuvenates the body, gives you your youth back.
Yes, I've heard of that story. It's a myth.
Obviously not.
Picard. I am the living proof. Oh, it's dangerous. The mortality rate is high and it's very painful. The herb and drug combinations are self-administered slowly over a period of 2 years. Every response is different depending on a being's DNA. I got enough for both of us, Annie, but I had to test it on myself first. It was almost undetectable, but the improvement was there. And then when this hostage situation came up, I knew I had to be at my peak to deal with it. I didn't have time to wait for the drug to work naturally.
So you took the whole dose?
I took both of them. And look at me, Annie, look at me. I'm strong, I'm alert, fit. I'm fitter than you are, Picard, and I'm getting younger.
Why didn't you tell me, Mark? We've always been honest with each other until now.
Annie, I did it for us.
Oh, I'm sure you believed that. Until you had a chance to head up a mission and to command again. And then you just upended the bottle, or whatever it was, and damn everything.
Annie, what good was I to you? We can be together again.
Let me go.
I can get you another supply of the drug.
Yeah, I feel like something's gonna happen to him because you took a dose for 2 people. Imagine if he becomes a child.
Karnas.
What is it you want, Admiral?
We're on a secure channel, Karnas. You can talk freely. Who's behind this thing? You said dissidents.
Yes. Political opponents who feel the Federation will disavow me as governor if they stir up enough trouble here on Morden.
You've never forgiven me.
Of course I have. It was years ago.
There are no dissidents, are there? No terrorists. You have the hostages.
And if I have, you're coming to Morden, Jameson, and you're going to negotiate for their lives. And I'm going to ask a very, very high price.
What if I refuse?
Jesus.
Then the hostages will die.
Damn. We're in a pickle.
Khan, are we still on schedule to arrive at Morden in 38 hours?
Aye, sir. We're at warp 4.
Khan, I want to jump to warp 8, so that we arrive ahead of our announced ETA.
With respect, Admiral, I would point out that no one else has heard or considered Karnas's demands. The Federation might view them differently if they knew what they were.
Starfleet has given me command of the away team, Picard, and I intend to use them.
So
as
annoying.
I see fit.
I do not like him. He is so annoying.
Doctor, she has to know. You know what?
He's dying?
Anne, your husband,
What is it?
he's not stabilizing. He may not have that life to live over.
He took too much?
We'll be at Morden in 3 hours.
I couldn't sleep either. Why is this mission so important to you? Why did you risk your life to lead it personally?
I want to save lives, Captain.
Noble sentiments. But that's too easy an
Yeah,
answer.
I don't believe
You've been here
it.
before. You negotiated a release of the hostages with Karnas before.
The Mordenites had some sophistication, but were still ruled by family tribal units. Karnas's father was the ruling chief of one of the families another tribe had him assassinated. Karnas seized the passengers of a starliner and held them hostage, demanding that Starfleet provide him with weapons that would enable him to defeat his rivals. It wasn't my golden ore toy that saved them, Captain. I gave Karnas the weapons he wanted.
Oh, wow.
I gave exactly the same weapons to his rivals. My interpretation of the Prime Directive. Let them solve their problems with those arms on an equal basis.
Oh, wow.
I falsified the records to Starfleet. But I lived with that on my soul, Picard. 63 people came away safe, but millions died on Morden because I delivered those weapons.
Karnas could have worked for peace during those years instead of continuing the war. It's not all on your head, Admiral.
But I started it. I lit the match.
Yeah, you did.
Now finally I can vindicate myself, if only in a small way. I'm going to do what I should have done the first time.
Kill him?
We're taking the hostages out by force if necessary. No deals.
Damn.
Yes, perfect. We are in the M4 tunnel directly under the governor's residence. M4 is a subsidiary tunnel, but it crosses and links with several main ones.
I am sorry, sir. That does not correspond with the information in my tricorder.
Your information is incorrect.
I think you're leading them into a trap.
Captain, the Admiral is definitely incorrect. The tunnel schematics we have show this to be a dead end. It was sealed off 2 years ago.
Damn.
Geordie?
This is steel plast, sir. Fairly recent installation.
This is the most direct route. Set phasers to cut through it.
If you have the coordinates where you think the hostages are, sir, we could just beam in over there.
Karnas may not have them in the same place. There's no substitute, Lieutenant, for a little personal reconnoiter.
He makes me nervous.
Hey, come on!
It's a trap!
Sir, look out!
Oh! So you're not who you were way back when, dude.
Their phasers, sir, set on kill.
Is he hit?
No sign of a wound.
Enterprise-D, Picard! 6 to beam up, now!
Stupid. I'm so mad at him. He almost got our people killed.
Enterprise, there has been an armed intrusion in the tunnels beneath the city. Now that smells of Jameson. Where is he?
Karnas, this is Picard. I'm sorry to inform you, the Admiral is critically ill.
That is not my concern. Sick or well, you have 10 minutes to beam him down.
I think you better see for yourself, Captain.
He's a teenager? Or a baby?
God. Oh, God, I have to get to Karnas.
I can't let him out of my care, Captain.
It's my last option. Lorraine failed. All I have left to bargain with is myself.
Who are you? I want Jameson.
Karnas, this is Admiral Mark Jameson.
Yep, he's a baby now.
Before he left on this mission, he administered an overdose of an alien de-aging drug to himself. He wanted to face you with strength again, on even terms. This is what the drug has done to him.
This story you are telling me is unbelievable. Jameson is a man of more than 80 years. Not this. I want that old man.
Well, he's no longer old, dude.
I want to show him this world he helped to make.
I understand it, Karnas. It was you who demanded the weapons to avenge your father's death.
But Jameson did give weapons to only us. If he had, we would have quickly triumphed over our enemies, and there would have been peace in all these decades. This is the man I want.
Yeah, Karnas. Look. Once he took the compound, there was no way to stop it.
That is so sad. I don't like him,
You'll
but that
have
is
to
so
deal with
sad.
me, Karnas. Whatever you wanted from Jameson isn't possible anymore, and you wanted revenge. You blamed your war on him, and there's no doubt he had a lot to do with it. But you had the weapons and you used them. You could have tried for negotiations, for peace on your planet, long ago. Instead, you chose to fight. How many of those 40 years of civil war are on your head, Karnas?
There were only 2 of us in the meeting. You didn't even trust your lieutenants then. You told me that old Perter Singh had ordered your father's assassination. You told me that you wanted arms to destroy him. Peace wasn't on your mind. All you wanted was revenge. And I gave you the weapons to do it. There! The blood cut you gave me to seal our bargain!
It is you. No. No, my revenge will be in seeing you live like this. Such pain.
The compound he took is forcing the cells and organs to go further, younger, and they can't take the stress. It's like they're imploding.
I will always love you.
Annie, with the golden hair.
Flatterer. It's gray now.
I see only the gold.
The hostages will be freed immediately, Captain. I'm prepared to be cooperative.
It's so sad that it took all of this. But ultimately, he did what he wanted to do, which was save the hostages.
The hostages have been freed by Karnas unharmed, and the body of Admiral Mark Jameson has been buried on Mordan at the request of his widow. Age and wisdom have their graces too.
Yes, they do.
I wonder if one doesn't have to have age and wisdom to appreciate that, sir.
I hope not, number one. Mr. LaForge, prepare to take us out of orbit. Set course for ISIS 3.
Aye, sir. Leaving orbit.
All right, fam. So we just finished watching season 1, episode 16 of Star Trek TNG, titled "Too Short a Season." This was a sad story. It sucked. So we had the admiral. I don't remember his name, but we had the admiral coming in and being asked to negotiate the release of hostages, and it was a place that he had been in the past where he had brokered peace before, and then but from the moment that he got on the ship, I could tell, first of all, I could foresee the de-aging thing only because of the prosthetics, but you could tell there was something else that was going on, that it wasn't just what he was saying, that it was that it had to do with like wanting to broker peace. It felt like there was something else that he was hiding, and that was pushing him to those lengths to be able to get to that planet and lead something. And then we quickly find out that that he is that he's done something in order to release him from the chair, from his disease, from the Iverson disease. I find it funny because Iverson, from the Iverson disease. And so it's something that is from a different planet and that is slowly de-aging him. And then we find out that he had a dose for his wife and for himself. And because of this particular mission, it took the double dose. Sir, you cannot do that. When they tell you you have to take one dose over 2 years, you can't just like shoot yourself up and think there's not going to be any consequences. So instead of de-aging over 2 years, Buddy is de-aging like in hours. And he went from being an old age man to a borderline teenager at that point. By the end, he looked like a teenager. And at the same time, not accounting for his wife, because the dose was supposed to be for his wife. So now, like, even if it worked, it's like, well, now, like, the wife with a teenager, and also just not taking into consideration that she may not want to be young again. She already lived her life. She might just want to be, chilling and in retirement. And you're kind of forcing her into a young adult's life and to do it all over again, which I don't know that I would want to go back to my 20s now. But yes, and then we find out the real story behind his last mission on that planet, and it did not go as he told Starfleet. He actually was the catalyst for the Civil War that lasted 40 years, and killed countless of people. And basically the person that is over there, the ruler, there was no actual people holding Starfleet members hostages, but it was hostage. Oh my God, I can't talk today. Sorry, I'm so super sleepy. I don't know what's going on. Like holding them hostage, but it was him himself as a mean of vengeance, because of what happened and because of the 40 years of civil war that happened because the admiral gave both parties arms as opposed to just him. And and it sucked that at the end that the admiral had to sacrifice himself, but really that was the only outcome. And it annoyed me, the hubris that he had. And I get that he had the mission of wanting to rectify what he had done, but it's already passed. And you putting a whole bunch of people in jeopardy for something that is only in your mind is crazy, because now you risk killing other people for now your version of vengeance, because that's what that was. It wasn't about, yes, it was about getting the hostages, but it felt more personal. And that was clouding his judgment, because Data told him, this is not the tunnels that you think they are. No, it is. No, but it's not though. Like, we have technology that can actually look through and see what's happening. And we're telling you those tunnels are no longer the same, but his hubris, his ego took over and, dictated his actions. And again, the solution that he took to de-age himself ended up making him weaker. He thought he was weak before, but at least he was, mind, like he had his mind, he had expertise, but then by de-aging, he ended up having that, younger man hubris, and also the pain of what was going on with him just made him weak. And ultimately, like, the only thing that he had to bargain with was no longer his strength, it was no longer his mind, really, because his mind was ravaged with pain. It was just himself. And but I'm happy that at the end, the bad guy, well, he's not, well, I mean, he kind of is still a bad guy, but he acknowledged the fact that killing him was unnecessary, because he was already dying and he was suffering, so it was unnecessary. And I like that at the end, he was able to tell him to rest, and also for him to be allowed to be buried there, because so much of his life was there. Even though he'd left, like, for the last 40 years, that's all that was probably in his mind and his spirit. So he's finally being able to be laid to rest in the place that caused him so much turmoil. So now it's like a proper ending to his story. But yeah, Kronos, I think is his name, the bad guy. Anyways, but yeah, great episode. Very tense, had me very tense throughout the entire thing. But I really enjoyed it, and I loved Picard in this episode, because even though the guy was annoying, the Admiral, Picard still gave him grace. Even after hearing what actually happened, he gave him grace. And I feel like that's what sets Picard apart, is his ability to show people grace, and his ability to, without physically embracing people, but just put them at ease and at peace. Because even what he was saying to Kronos, I think that's his name, it just felt like, hey, sir, I'm trying to talk to you, like human to human. I'm trying to tell you that what you did was also your fault. Yes, you had a part to play, but it was also your fault, and it's time for you to acknowledge that. And I feel like that conversation was a building block for Kronos to be able to see the Admiral properly and see that there was, at this point, there was no room for violence, because then again, you're perpetuating that cycle that you say that you were trying to break. But yeah, I love our Picard. I love him so much. Anyways, I love this episode. I hope you guys did too. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the episode. What do you thought the moral of the episode was? What do you thought about the Admiral, about Kronos, about the 40-year Civil War? Tell me. I want to read everything. And how do you feel about de-aging? If there was a de-aging serum that you could take today to age back between 10 to 20 years, would you take it? If so, why? And if not, why? I would love to read. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Bye for now.